Hi guys, it's about time that we did a report on all that we have been doing to move our strategic priorities forward so far in 2015. So I'm going to share with you according to each priority, where we are in everything. So as you will recall, at the beginning of the year, we set out that over the next 2 years, we want to have partners in place ready to come together and have planned out how all of us together will accomplish the mission that we all share. Not that they will accomplish creating the future's mission, but that we'll find partners that this is their mission as well, and that we're all looking to create the same change, and that by the end of 2016 we will have come together and have a plan for exactly how we're going to do that, all of us together where we are. There are several strategic priorities that will lead us to that. We can't just jump in there. So here's where we are status-wise on those strategic priorities. Number one, our first priority is to find and connect with potential partners. One of the prerequisites to that is that we have to have several pieces in place so that when we do connect with people and they say, so what are you guys all about? We have that. You have seen that I have written a draft of the first half of our theory of change, which is the theory piece, the action frameworks, the catalytic thinking framework that comes out of that is the next piece that I'm going to write, so that when people are meeting with us, I can send that to them with an executive summary, not the 30 pages, and say, here's the essence of what our thinking is all about, and here's what we would like you to discuss with us first, join us with secondly. Another big prerequisite, in addition to having those theoretical pieces in place, is to have more visibility. People need to know who we are. It would be nice if they were calling us that they want to work with us. And even if I give them a call to say, somebody said we should get together and they saw a connection, to say, oh yeah, I've read about your work, I've seen your work. So towards that end, several big things have already happened this year. I presented at the WVDO, the Willamette Valley Development Officers in Portland just a couple of weeks ago, and at the same time presented at the Portland City Club, which has simulcast via YouTube and puts out that stream to Oregon Public Broadcasting, so their NPR affiliate, which was wonderful. We continue to get a response. It was 2 weeks ago that I did that talk, and we continue to get responses from people who heard it on Oregon Public Broadcast, saw it live, and we're just getting tremendous response from that. So it really had good legs, good reach, and that's what we want. We want visibility about the theory of change and what we're doing. We also had, as you guys saw, an article in Stanford Social Innovation Review about our open participatory meetings. So again, the visibility is high. I haven't yet counted the tweets and retweets on all of that. It's in the hundreds, which is fabulous, which is where we want to be, and attracting the attention that we want. So those two prerequisites are moving forward very, very rapidly, starting to have some initial sleuthing conversations with some people. And that will increase as the months go on and those pieces are in place. So that's number one, which is to identify and start communicating with potential partners. A second big prerequisite and a strategic objective for this year, again, to get us ready so that we're able to scale to accomplish the mission, and scale by scale, I mean work with a whole bunch of people all together, is that we be succession ready. We need to know that I can step out at any time, that Dimitri can step out at any time, that this organization will do what it needs to do regardless of if we're here. That's number one. I'm on planes a lot. I like to be realistic about life. But also that all of the pieces I'm currently doing are being done by others, so that I can step out and meet with potential partners and do the work that will really bring us forward. Huge leaps are being made on that, and that's a huge piece of what we're doing this year. We are doing faculty development. By the end of this year, it is my goal that I am no longer teaching. And if I am teaching, it's by choice, not because I'm the only teacher. We have an operations team right now that is everybody that is leading major efforts There are 6 of us altogether now that meet bi-weekly in an operations team to talk about absolutely everything that is going on programmatically within the organization. You have seen Gail taking this huge and beautiful lead on the board. And what we saw at our February meeting is the board really taking responsibility for itself, saying, here are the things that we want to accomplish this year as a board. And that's tremendous for any organization. But for this nice young organization, it is really another fabulous succession-ready step that the board is running itself. I don't need to be there, which is fabulous. Lisa Humanek is now the editor of our e-journal, another big piece that takes me out of it and builds the starfish so that more and more people are getting linked into the journal. Lisa's doing an amazing job, and she's also doing an amazing job of tapping on individuals to write and participate in the journal, create videos, create content, which is, again, really amazing. Lastly, I cannot overemphasize how important it is having Candace here, and not just because she's fabulous, which she is, but because she really is stepping into that job of creating systems. So for every job that she is undertaking, she is also documenting it and making sure that it is succession ready in the event something happens to her or in the event she leaves. So we're trying very hard to make sure that we've got systems in place rather than reliance on individuals. And that is ongoing. It is happening at leaps and bounds. And by the end of the year, the big piece, the faculty piece, will be done as well. The next big chunk in our strategic priorities this year is to make sure that we've got infrastructure in place so that we can accomplish all of these things that we need to accomplish, so that I can be out there identifying partners, so that we can create programs, so that we can scale this. We need to have base infrastructure in place. Some of that will happen as partners come on board. So we will be establishing whatever we need to do the scaling. We will be establishing the infrastructure first rather than waiting and dragging it along behind us. But we also have need for infrastructure in order to scale even just the amount that we're talking about here, adding programs, which I'll talk about in a little bit. What that means is that we are going to do a crowdfunding campaign looking for both equipment, scholarship monies for people to attend classes. There's a lot of equipment that we're going to need. Some of it is just because the equipment we've been using is old. We inherited it. It was old when Dimitri and I brought it from our former life. We had our alarm system go out in the office. So we've had to replace that. So we're going to be doing a crowdfunding campaign, hopefully in the next month, to start laying the groundwork to have that infrastructure in place so that we can build up from there, which will be pretty important. The other big infrastructure piece, and some of you have been involved in these conversations, I cannot invite you guys strongly enough to be part of these conversations, is Dimitri has been leading the web strategy conversations. And the goal is that we will have a new website by the end of August, so that we can build upon that as we start, zooming out. People in that back to school mode, people start zooming out in September, and we want to be ready for that. So we've been having really wonderful meetings, deep strategy meetings about what we want that website to accomplish and for whom, what its highest potential is. And its highest potential is about the people. It's not about the technology. So I can't urge you enough to be part of those conversations. Go to the Walking the Talk blog and you will find the links to that. Lastly, and probably most importantly, one of the biggest strategic priorities for this year, for next year, and for accomplishing the mission overall is that we know there will be partners who say, yes, this mission is our mission also. And we have the authority, I am talking to a CEO, I am talking to whomever, who has the authority to say, we're in. But we also know that there's going to be times when someone is not in that place of authority, but really wants to be part of it. So we need to have ways that people can participate at all points along the continuum, and all points along the continuum of not only their own readiness to step into their potential, but their own ability to take action. And so we are in program development mode, which is fabulous. We are looking at really 3 points along the continuum of potential. I'm curious and I'll try it stage, the I really love this and I want to dive in stage, and then the folks who've already dove in who are saying, I'm already doing this and I need more support. I want more support. And so we are developing programs along that spectrum for all of the participants, all of the targeted participants that we want to initially start talking with. People who are doing capacity building at any level in any kind of organization. So whether that's consultants, for-profit, nonprofit, government, whether that is academic folks, whether that is resource centers. We're also looking at foundations and philanthropists, and lastly, on the ground influencers and network weavers. So programs for each of those kinds of audiences, and again across that spectrum of the continuum, which will bring in all of those other priorities because we'll need the infrastructure and we'll need the faculty and all of those other pieces. So that's where we're at. It has been an amazing first 2 months of the year, and I'm looking forward to more frequent updates in the next coming months, and looking forward to inviting you to participate, take part in this, however you feel called to do so, because it's really pretty exciting stuff. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.